walk into a room you are excited to be in, and somehow you still feel out of place. Nothing obvious happens, no one says anything wrong, no one excludes you, but conversations are happening around you, not with you. In that moment, you make a choice. You have a thought, a joke, or an opinion, but you decide that being invisible is safer than being noticed. You agree when you don't mean to. You make yourself easier to accept. And the difficult part is it works. You avoid awkwardness, you avoid judgment. But on the way back, you realize that while you manage to fit in with the crowd, you have started to feel like a stranger to yourself. Because here is the truth, you don't lose your voice all at once. You lose it in small moments when you choose not to use it. That's how it disappears, quietly, gradually, without you noticing. And this is not just a personal experience. Psychologist Solomon Ash studied how group pressure influences our decisions. He found that when everyone in a room agrees, even when the answer is clearly wrong, many people still go along with the group. Not because they believe it, but because it is uncomfortable to stand alone. But he also found something important. When even one person voices a different opinion, the pressure to conform drops significantly. It becomes easier for others to speak. But when we choose to stay silent instead of being that one voice, it starts a quiet erosion within us. You do not lose your identity through one dramatic moment of surrender. You lose it through thousands of tiny decisions, each individually harmless, but collectively devastating. A thought held back here, an opinion swallowed there. Repeated often enough, these micro decisions do not just change your behavior, they change your sense of who you are. Each time you choose to swallow a thought, you are performing a micro decision that trains your brain to believe that your voice doesn't actually matter. You are quite literally teaching yourself to disappear. Now, I'm not saying that you should speak up everywhere. Some rooms are not safe. Maybe it's a social circle where disagreeing means being excluded. In those moments, silence is a shield. It protects you from the crowd. But while that shield protects you on the outside, it casts a shadow on the inside. It hides who you actually are. I have been through this. I remember a conversation where I had something clear in my mind, but I didn't say it because I wasn't sure it would matter. And over time, that became normal. I realized I was spending more energy calculating the right thing to say instead of actually listening to the conversation. It was exhausting to realize that while I was physically in the room, I was mentally miles away, busy managing a version of myself that didn't even exist. And over time, I realized I was stepping away from myself. That silence wasn't helping me to fit in, it was disconnecting me from who I was. To change this, we have to address the mechanism. When you start saying what you're already thinking, even if it isn't perfect, you are performing an identity act. You are telling yourself quietly and repeatedly who you are. We spend so much energy trying to be easier to accept for everyone else. But there is a heavy cost of being liked by everyone except yourself. So, if you feel like you are losing your connection to who you are, remember this. You don't disappear because others overlook you. You disappear when you keep overlooking yourself. The correction isn't to be the loudest person in the crowd, it's just to stop being the one who agrees to stay silent. Because you were never meant to be a background character in your own story. Thank you.